Hey folks, Adam here, Elite Demonstrations. We're going to compare this Waterpik water flosser versus the Bitvae. It's the C2 oral irrigator. Now I have to admit that I've been using the C2 for quite a while. This is my preferred item, and there's a lot of interesting aspects to this that I very much like. Now, Waterpik is kind of the premier brand. They're very well known, but will Bitvae surpass them in terms of overall quality? Now, the size, very similar, and you can see I've gone ahead and put similar tips on them. Now, there's a lot to learn about these. The Waterpik, ADA accepted, clinically proven, effective way to floss, and it includes 2 tips, where the Bitvae, it says oral care made easy, large capacity reservoir, and this thing is great. It has 5 standard nozzles. So you're getting more tips, including one that's for your tongue. So a slight advantage to Bitvae. Now, having used them both, I gotta tell you, one thing I very much like about the Bitvae is I always fill mine by just taking off the top, and then you can run it under the faucet and you can fill it in a matter of seconds. Meanwhile, the Waterpik, you kind of have to open this little flap here, and water gets everywhere when you try to fill it because you've got a tiny little hole here. So in terms of filling, got to give the Bitvae the advantage. The other big area that I give a Bitvae advantage is that Bitvae rechargeable, comes with a recharging right there, and a long-lasting battery, where Waterpik is kind of weird. You have to take it out and you have to put actual batteries in it. So if you don't want to be replacing batteries all the time, Bitvae is a big advantage with their rechargeable situation. And I've used this for a long time. You can go months without having to replace the batteries. All right, so let me tell you a little bit more about it, and we're gonna continue this video. All right, folks, in the side-by-side comparison, you see the total heads here. Looks like 6. This is the Bitvae, and this is the Waterpik. I don't know why Waterpik decided to get a little stingy with us. You get 2 exact same heads, so you can replace out if one starts to wear, or you have his and hers, whatever that may be. Over here, you have a variety of heads. You can have one for each member of the family if one wears out, etc., etc. And you have this one that's kind of a tongue scraper that works very well as well for keeping your tongue clean, and that's just something that Waterpik won't do. So again, the advantage goes to Bitvae. Also, Bitvae does come with a charging cable. No charging cable, but it does come with a 3-pack of batteries. Obviously, it's way easier to have a rechargeable apparatus than it is to have to replace batteries all the time. Advantage goes to Bitvae. Now, when it comes to the speeds, you've got 2 speeds here, off, on, and like a higher power. And then with the Bitvae, I've got water in it, so I'm not going to turn it on, but it's got 1, 2, 3 speeds and the on and off. So you have more options for use with the Bitvae because you have 3 speeds versus 2. It's just a little bit more variety there. I usually crank them all the way up to max, but that's just how I do it. But Bitvae is going to have a few more options. Now, a slight advantage to the water flosser by Waterpik is sometimes when I grab this, I will accidentally turn it on, right? And then you're shooting water. That's just because my big fat fingers, I'll grab it. This, you're not gonna have that issue because it isn't a button. So slight advantage to Waterpik that I like the design of their button, but in terms of actual functionality and being able to do more things, Bitvae has a distinct advantage. So easier to fill, Bitvae. 3 speeds plus on and off, Bitvae. More heads, Bitvae, and of course the rechargeable batteries, Bitvae. All right, folks, so they both work very well, and I'm going to use them both in front of you here in a moment. The Bitvae seems to be a little bit more powerful around the teeth. Listen and tell me if you can tell the difference. The Waterpik's going to chug when I get around my teeth. Let me show you. You hear it slowing down there. It chugs a little bit. Now we're going to use the Bitvae. Same spot, against the same tooth. Waterpik does a great job. It gets in there, but it does bog down a little bit when there's resistance. I don't know why, if that's a less powerful motor, less powerful batteries, what it may be. But the water flosser isn't quite as powerful when there's resistance in the mouth when you're pushing it against your teeth. All right, folks, overall, they're both very powerful, great products. Very happy with them. You can see the Waterpik sprays very well. And the Bitvae really sprays. All right, folks, one more thing I just noticed, even though it doesn't look it, the Bitvae actually has a lot larger holding capacity. While I was filming this, I was checking it out, and my Waterpik ran out of water well before the Bitvae did. Now, they're both very powerful. 3 settings there for speed. And you can see this is shooting clear across the porch. And you have the Waterpik as well. And you can actually see the water pressure is a little bit more powerful with the Bitvae. So there you go, folks. My preference of the two, the Bitvae, both great products. Waterpik has a great reputation. I will still use this, but if you're asking which is the better of the two, the Bitvae has the clear advantage. The capacity is larger, the power seems to be higher, the motor seems to be better, the battery situation is rechargeable, the more tips, etc., etc. 3 different power settings. A really fantastic product. The advantage that the Waterpik has is sometimes I accidentally turn this on just when I grab it. This isn't going to do that. You have to flip it up. But overall, by far, big advantage to Bitvae. Go ahead and check it out. You won't be disappointed. If your question is, should you get it? The answer is heck yes. Goodbye, my friends.